I think if Usyk throws his combinations, goes inside there, stick to the game plan, and don't let Tyson Fury box him around, use the jab, use his distance, I think Usyk could do good.
AJ Fury is there on a plate. It is the biggest fight in the history of the sport. So I want Tyson Fury to win. I actually love Usyk and I respect him so much. But for AJ, I would like Tyson Fury to win that fight. I would like him to become undisputed. And then if that IBF title becomes available, maybe we fight Hrgovic in the summer. And then I know they've got a 2-fight deal as well. But let's be honest, there'll be so much pressure to make that fight.
It's the fight I'm gonna watch for sure. That's what I make of it. But what I think will win, it's so hard to say. I see Fury train harder than ever, as I can see. Right? I was in one of his camps. I know he works very much. He spars four times a week, so that's a lot and stuff. So before I was saying Fury, I think I would leave it at that. I would leave it at that. I would stay with Fury. I think I would still stay with Fury, even after everything that's happened.
I mean, one of
I
us.
always saw Fury beating Usyk. I don't know why.
The rest of the boxing fans throughout the world, the rest of the sports fans throughout the world, this is a monstrous fight, huge fight against the two best heavyweights on the planet. Yeah, can't wait for it. It's been a long time coming though, but I think it just makes it even a bit more appealing with obviously the cut that Fury had and the delay and everything. I know people are pissed off at the time, but I just think it just adds a wee bit more to this fight.
Carl, with the cut itself, do you feel like that's something which you think Oleksandr might look to target, try and get it to open up, make him feel uncomfortable during the fight?
No, I don't think so. I think people make too much of a big deal about the cut. It happened quite a while ago. It was a big enough cut to kind of put you out of a fight, but it's not like Tyson suffered worse cuts in fights. You know what I mean? And they've been okay. So I don't think it's going to be too much of a concern for Tyson going forward. The only real concern was, would it be okay for sparring and stuff? Would it have healed properly and tend to give him enough preparation in the gym? But I imagine it probably was.
How do you actually think that Tyson approaches this fight? Because we've seen, obviously, as his career's developed, his style's evolved. How do you expect to see him try and take apart Oleksandr Usyk?
Yeah, look, it's really changed, and people see Tyson as more of an aggressive fighter now than the kind of first version of Tyson. But then again, you look at I was really impressed with the Dillian Whyte performance, which was a number of years ago now, but I think it was really relaxed. He didn't do a lot in the fight. He threw one uppercut in round 6, and once it landed, that was it, game over. It was a really, really smart performance and something different than what we'd seen in the Wilder performances. So I don't think that's the style that beats Usyk against the Dillian Whyte performance that Tyson put in. But I think he has to be aggressive. Once he gets close, he has to lean on him. A bit like Klitschko used to do. He used to hit people 1-2s and grab them and push them down. I think he's going to have to be a lot more aggressive in this fight.
For Oleksandr, what's the route to success for himself?
Movement. Has to be movement. Targeting the body, but constant movement. And whether he can do that or not for 12 rounds is going to be the question. But I think I think both guys will know what style the other fighter is going to employ, and I think Usyk will be expecting Fury to be aggressive, which he has to be, and Fury will expect Usyk to move, which I think is his way of trying to win the fight.
It keeps flip-flopping, and that's what it should do, right? I mean, we are talking the number 1 and number 2, like unequivocally. I know AJ's had a good run recently, but this is number 1 versus number 2. These are two unbeaten guys. These are all the marbles. It should be a tricky fight to call. With the cut as well, obviously Tyson Fury didn't look great against Ngannou, but let's be honest, Oleksandr Usyk didn't look special against Daniel Dubois as well. I think we all forget that. So I don't know. When this fight was first announced, I said Fury. But even then, Tony Bellew kept convincing me that Usyk's going to get the job done because obviously Bellew's been in there with him. But every time I've gone against Fury, he's proved me wrong. I've gone against him with Vladimir Klitschko. I went against him twice with Deontay Wilder. So it seems as though when everything's stacked against him, he finds a way. and I feel like he will find a way May 18th.
I don't know. Like, look, I'm leaning towards Fury because I was always told as a kid, boxing, a good big one will always beat a good little one, and I think that's why. Not so much now, but always in the past, you would see fighters ball down, lose loads and loads of weight so they could be huge for their division, so therefore have an advantage, which we found out now isn't always the case. You're depleted, blah, 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 blah. But that is the saying, a good big one will always beat a good little one. But we just don't... We on May 18th, could witness absolute... Well, we're going to witness history, but we could be witnessing one of the greatest to ever step in the ring. If Usyk beats Fury, you know, that it would be incredible. You're talking about one of the greats of all time. Yeah, I was about to say, if not the great, like, you'd have to put him right up there. It would be remarkable. So yeah, it's I'll probably lean towards Fury because of the size, but nothing would surprise me in this one.
No, I don't think that's gonna. No, I've always said if Tyson Fury can use his physicality and his physical advantage in the fight, it makes it very, very difficult for Usyk to win the fight because he has to work really, really hard to get in, land, get out without having that 20-stone beast maul you or clip you, knock you off balance, so then he can rush you. It's a hard fight for Usyk. But if Usyk seems to be where now he's having more time settling into the division. I don't think he necessarily will come in as heavy as what he has done, because of the size of Fury. If he comes in heavy, trying to negate that size that he's giving away, for the amount of weight that he's giving away inside, I think it only hampers him by coming in heavier anyway. Takes away his speed, his legs. His legs' sharpness is more important than anything, because he's going to need those angles. He's going to need those legs for taking away, making Tyson's timing and range just miss that little bit. I think it's a really intriguing fight because I've always said I think Usyk's got the skills to beat Fury. I do think he's got the skills to it. If I know it's but if Fury hasn't got the stupid reach advantage that he's got and the just sheer size of him, then I don't think Fury deals with him at all. But he has, so it makes it so tough. I think boxing ability wise, Usyk wins the fight, but I just think the whole package and the physicality, then you'd have to say Fury still remains favourite for me. But if the hard fights that he's had are catching up on him now, you got to think about that Wilder third Wilder fight, and the first Wilder fight he took some bombs, and then you look at the Ngannou fight, he took some bombs in that fight. If these things are catching up on him now, along with the lifestyle that he's led previously, and if this is the Fury that we've got now, then Usyk beats him. So it's really intriguing. It's one of those fights that you, for me, I can't just pin a winner straight away. I want to see a little bit more. I want to see how it gets, when we get a bit closer.
I'm happy it's going along. It's happening. It should happen. It should have happened a year ago. Ultimate heavyweight clash. Let's do it.
Obviously, a lot of question marks over Tyson on the back of a Francis Ngannou fight. How do you expect to see him perform against Oleksandr Usyk?
I hope he does better. I'm not knocking Francis Ngannou. I think he's an amazing athlete and a fighter. But he's had one professional boxing fight. Tyson Fury has been around a long time, and people said he shocked the world, Francis Ngannou, from his performance. He's done very well. But yeah, I hope Tyson Fury does steps it up, because Usyk is no mug.
Yeah, I've never made it a secret. Whenever I've been asked the questions, I have Tyson as a clear winner in that fight. But of course, it's not going to be an easy fight. There hasn't been an undisputed champion for 25 years or so. Last one being Sir, although they haven't made it official, but I'm putting it out there. We must address him, Sir Lennox Lewis. Yeah, he has to get knighted. It has to be knighted. And so, yeah, it's going to be a hard fight. But I only see Tyson, irrespective of all the rumors that's out there, that's just boxing for you. I have Tyson as a clear winner of that fight.
Not because of Ngannou fight, but even before Ngannou fight, I thought that Usyk is favorite. It's a more like 50-50 fight, but I give Usyk a little bit of the edge in that fight because for me he's just more complete fighter. He's always in good shape, great defense, great footwork, great technique, and he has solid power as well. So for me, I don't know, Usyk is more complete fighter, and but it's hard fight, of course, for both. It's like 50-50 fight, and it will be an amazing fight.
I'm very excited because I just feel sometimes out of bad comes good. He had that cut, but to be honest, it was an awful cut. But it was at the end of his sparring, so he got all that sparring under his belt. And remember, he's only had one fight in 18 months or more. Maybe not, might be 2 years now. And obviously with a time to heal up, he was peaking. He's taken that time. He's now, if you look at him now, he could fight tomorrow. He's in such good nick. So if it's a problem, it's maintaining the level he's at so that he's working towards getting to a peak physical and mental situation by the 18th. And I think he'll do that. And I think we're going to see a vintage performance from him.
You said there you think you'll see a vintage performance. How do you expect to see Tyson approach this fight? Does he become aggressive? Does he look to break Usyk down to the body? I know you've mentioned it a few times in the build-up to this. Do you think that's the key for Tyson, hurt the body of Oleksandr Usyk?
I think Tyson, as soon as that first bell goes, he would just do what he's got in his head. He's adaptable. He's got plan A, he's got plan B, and he's got a plan C. And he will use whatever it takes to get through it and do it. It'd be interesting to see what Usyk does. What does he do? How's he going to handle Tyson Fury? How's he going to try and handle him? So it's how Tyson responds to that. Is he going to go out and take the centre of the ring? Is he going to dominate and push him back or not? We will see. He's the bigger man. He's got the better reach. But then again, the bigger man with a better reach in AJ couldn't do it.
Well, in theory, you'd like to think so, but it's easier said than done. And especially with someone like Tyson, whose dimensions are so sort of tall and awkward. Like I say, so it's like saying Tyson Fury should target Usyk's body because apparently he's weak downstairs. That's easier said than done as well, because Usyk's sort of ring craft and generalship and controlling the distance and tempo is so good. So I'd imagine he'll try his best to aim for that eye, but it's not a given.
I think Tyson's gonna pull it off, man. Tyson's a good guy. I'm going with more of my feelings and my relationship that I have with guys. You know what I mean? And Tyson's a big guy, but he's a big, fun, lovable guy. He's always been positive with me, so I'm rooting for him.
Listen, it's hard not to be Tyson Fury when you've known him most of his life. He's there, he's on the big stage, he's fighting Oleksandr Usyk for undisputed. It'd be great for Manchester to have had an undisputed world heavyweight champion. So I'm Tyson Fury. Whether he does it remains to be seen. Whether he didn't train for the Ngannou fight, Usyk. People talk about people's activity and inactivity. Oleksandr Usyk's only had, I think it's one fight a year for the last 5 years. He's putting miles on the clock. He's had the fight there with Dubois as well. And this is a huge opportunity for him. Can he pull one more big night out of the bag for himself as well? So, listen, it could be a ball fest or it could be a Holyfield Bowl type of fight, but I'm fancying Tyson Fury. A proper fit, 100% skill set Tyson Fury is a very hard man to beat.
Yeah, it's a much anticipated fight. I'm really looking forward to watching it and seeing the outcome. you know, the tailor the tape, you match their stats together, knockouts and fights and everything. You know, Fury's attributes and stuff, it seems a bit like he's a bigger, heavier man with more knockouts and stuff. So, but yeah, Usyk's very tough. He's very technical, faster, maybe. You could get in and out, and I don't know. I can see how they can both win the fight. So it's like a 50-50 fight. But then, you know, you think that like I made a bad prediction again. Well, I mean, I thought. You know, Joshua and Ngannou would have been a double KO, but it obviously wasn't the case. So don't listen to don't put your money on what I say. Like,
oh well, it does sway my opinion. But remember, I've always said Tyson Fury wins Oleksandr Usyk, and if Tyson Fury turns up, he wins. An underperformer in regards to Tyson Fury, he doesn't. But I think Tyson Fury understands what's on the line here. So therefore, he'll be in a position where he's right, I'm going to give my all. I expect the best Tyson Fury to turn up.
I just think it's great that the fight's actually happening and locked in. And it's a fight that's been talked about for a long time. And we've never seen a unified champion, undefeated unified champion in a long time. So I think, listen, you know who I'm going for, you know who I'm backing. And so I'm very biased in that sense. Even if I said I'm going to take off my bias hat, it still sounds biased anyway. So I just think I know Tyson's going to take care of business, and he's going to be the unified champion. It's going to be great.
He was obviously around in that camp for the Ngannou fight. He had a lot of critics after that fight. How assured are you that we don't see any of the similar mistakes that we did see against Ngannou, against Oleksandr Usyk?
I think it's even if you have a great camp, and even if everything's gone right and something messes up on fight week and fix the fight on fight night, that's all that everyone remembers is the fight night. So I know that this time he's going to get it right, all from the start to the end.
Back to boxing, back to Usyk, back to the world titles. I think, you know, he hasn't found a way to lose yet, and I just think he's so hard to beat. He's so big. He might make that fight a stinker, but I do think Fury just wins it.
Oh man, it's going to be a great fight. But you know what? Like they say, you know, you're only as good as your last fight. So I believe Usyk has the edge at the moment. You know, and we all saw Fury's last fight. You know, he didn't come in the best of shape. He underestimated his opponent. You know, I think we all did. You know, I think we all thought that Fury's going to have a walk in the park, and that wasn't the case. So, you know, now he's just going to get his act together, get back in the gym, and come in the best shape possible, because Usyk is no joke.
It's the one I don't want to answer because it's a long one, firstly, but I've always fancied Fury and fancied him well until I've seen the Ngannou fight. And a lot depends on if that was a complete off night or if that was Fury aging and becoming more sort of human and frail and showing signs of age. And if it is the case, then I can't see past Usyk. But if it was just an off night, if it was just a terrible performance and the fact that you were in against someone who isn't a conventional boxer, then I can't see past Fury, and I think Fury would be too big and too strong. But it's a big if.
It's just, I don't know, we just don't know. We don't know what Fury's got left. We know that Usyk's not on the decline. I didn't think the heavyweight was going to suit him when he first stepped up and boxed Chisora, but he's filled into the weight a lot more. You know, he just has kept his athleticism more as he's got older than Fury has, and I believe that he might beat him on points.
Usyk beat Fury.
Yeah, but it's a nip and tuck. It's going to be a split decision, I believe, and it will be like 7-5 either way. I just think it's going to be one of them that we're going to be demanding. There's a good thing there's a rematch, because I believe, like, I don't think there's going to be any eye catching, like they're getting dropped, or it will just be a very highly fought, highly skilled fight that's got a bit of everything without the sort of power.
Split decision, Shane. It's always controversial when somebody says something like that.
But but then again, I've also said I believe that I just think recently I just feel like Usyk's going to nick him on points. I think he'll get out the blocks quick, and Fury will start. He'll have to turn the script and start putting the pressure on him and trying to use his size a little bit. But Usyk's got he's got about 400 amateur fights. He's had guys try and do that his whole amateur career. So he's nimble and cute enough to be able to to pick and choose when to work. And I think it's just going to be one of them in the balance.
Oh no, I think it's going to be a good fight. You know, I think the pay-per-view numbers are going to be extremely high because people want to see, you know, a champion, and they want to see somebody that dominates. And you know, you get a guy like Usyk that came up and has done extremely well. Technique-wise, he's a very, very good fighter. You know, you got Tyson Fury that, like I mentioned when I first met him, I told him, I said, you know, when he fought Vladimir Klitschko and he beat him, I said, we could never understand how you know, body-wise and structure-wise could beat a guy that's so dominant and so disciplined like Vladimir Klitschko. But then I saw him fight Deontay Wilder, and his style of fighting can't be duplicated. He's like a Floyd Mayweather. You know, you can't teach anybody how to fight like Tyson Fury. He has his own style, which is very effective.
Well, we see Usyk beat Joshua, and he looked unbeatable. Then we see Usyk against Dubois, and he looked really beatable against someone who you would have thought, you know, is not as good as Joshua. So I think, personally, if Fury switched on in this fight and he's done the right amount of work and training and sparring, which he probably has, because he's probably shook him up that last fight, I think he will beat Usyk, and I think he'll be too big for him, and he'll be hitting him at range, and I don't think Usyk will get a lot off on him, to be truthful with you. But that's obviously a switched on Fury. The Fury we know that, you know, beat everyone in the past, so we have to wait on the night. But it's not a definite, and Usyk's a very smart fighter. He's very awkward. But I fancy Fury to win the fight.
他俩的预测的话，如果说泰森福利能够专心的去做训练营，然后专心的去训练，然后把所有的注意力集中到拳击上面，然后他还有赢的希望。如果说他还像和打纳甘诺那样的状态的话，他赢不了乌西克。
I think it depends on what kind of training camp and preparation Tyson Fury has towards this fight. If he does it like he did back in the Ngannou fight, it's going to be a really tough and long night for him.
What challenges does Oleksandr Usyk pose, though, that you haven't so far had to train Tyson for in preparation for a fight?
I don't really know. I've always trained Tyson to prepare for anything, so I really don't know how to answer that question. It's not like it's special. Like there's some magical powers that I'm training Tyson to be aware of.
But is there anything which, since you've been working together and you look at the opponents that you've crossed paths with, working with?
Everything we've been doing since I've been training Tyson has led to this point here.
This point here obviously leads into an undisputed bout then. How do you see this fight unfolding?
A knockout. I have to believe in Tyson. Why not? I know what he can do, and I know what we planned and prepared for.
I spoke to Tommy Fury outside. Obviously, Frank Warren mentioned on the stage Oleksandr Usyk's body and how maybe he isn't too keen on the body shots. Do you feel like that's something you've seen yourself in preparation and in studying footage of Oleksandr Usyk?
I've only seen it twice like everybody else has. It's not like every time he gets touched to the body or people look at his body, he goes crazy and wants to go into a shell. It's nothing like that. Obviously the man was hurt with two body shots on record that we've been able to see, and you know, the rest of his career, I don't know how body shots even affect him. But obviously, you want to make sure that you cover everything. So it's not, the whole plan is not just to go to his body, his body.
One thing people have also kind of questioned is, you know, Tyson's had some.
Everybody's making a big fuss about the body, but I mean, the man has a head and a body. You take whatever's open. That's supposed to be the art of the game. If one's open, take it. If the other one's closed, go the other way. Simple as.
I think Tyson in 35 fights, 36 fights, whatever he's had now, I think he's seen everything that there is to see in a boxing ring. You know, Usyk is what he is. He's a master boxer. You know, he can box really well. But at the end of the day, Tyson's a lot bigger and stronger. And, you know, like you said up there is weight divisions for a reason. And he's a bigger and stronger man. So I think that will have a lot to play in the fight.
Everybody in the team that has been adamant that Tyson will get and score a knockout victory come May 18th. I imagine that resonates with yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, you know, I think it's a known fact. You know, Usyk does not like it round the body. You know, he does not like the body punches. Everybody who's ever fought, you know, he's had a bit of trouble really with the body shots. So, you know, I think that's how the fight will end, in my opinion. Or a headshot, because Tyson can put you to sleep, you know, as he did Wilder, to the head or to the body. It doesn't really matter. But I do think Tyson will get him out of there 100%.
Also, I want to get your thoughts on the cut. The cut seems to have healed quite well, and having looked at Tyson today. But is there any concern that maybe Oleksandr might look to target it in the fight and make Tyson feel uncomfortable if it can open up?
Maybe, but he's already got experience in that. You know, we fought Otto Wally, and that was a hell of a cut. Really, really bad cut. So, you know, if the worst is to happen, he's already been there, he's already dealt with it, he knows what to expect. So he's a veteran of the game, but it is what it is. You know, he can do what he's going to do, but nothing's going to stop Tyson from doing what he needs to do. And I think he genuinely will get him out of there.
How many different ways can you beat Oleksandr Usyk?
What different what?
How many different ways can you beat him?
Well, I can beat him in a fight, or I can beat him in a kickboxing fight, or I beat him in a wrestling match, or I can beat him in an arm wrestle.
No, I mean technically in the ring.
No, listen, I don't know. We'll find out May the 18th. You know, Usyk's a very bad man, very dangerous man, and a very good boxer. And I've never not said he's any good. He's always been Olympic gold medalist, undisputed cruiserweight champion, unified heavyweight champion. I'd never take someone like that lightly, and I give him my best shot to be victorious.
Do you take anything away from Teofimo Lopez's win over Lomachenko?
Do I? Why?
Yeah, no, the way he.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said I was taking something.
No, like the game plan.
No, he did very well. It's a bit different at heavyweight, a bit different pace and a bit different way of going on. So it was a great win, and I called it back in the day. One of the only ones who did, and I'm calling this one as well. I'll beat Oleksandr Usyk. Like I said up there, if I can't beat Oleksandr Usyk, just say I'm no good.
On your Instagram, I saw you put "I feel sorry for the rabbit." Explain that.
When?
Like a few weeks ago in camp, you were hitting the pads on the caption. I think you had a quote from the Bible, but you also said, "I feel sorry for the rabbit."
Oh yeah, I'm not even on Instagram anymore. Nah.
Who's controlling it?
Nav's controlling it. Yeah.
Tyson, do you think that Oleksandr might try and target your eye, try and make you feel uncomfortable, maybe try and get it to open back up?
Well, if he's got any sense, he would do, wouldn't he? Because if he can open the eye up and get the referee to stop the fight, that's his chance in winning the fight.
Tyson, does that change your approach in the fight then? Is that changing your tactics?
No. It's only a bit of blood, isn't it? If he comes down and rattles down my face and onto the floor and on the referee's vest or whatever, it is what it is. It's only a cut. It's not the end of the world.
Tyson, how much better do you feel this time round in comparison to the Ngannou fight? You look in great shape already.
I felt fantastic for the Ngannou fight, and I feel fantastic now. I'm a little bit lighter than I was back then, but I feel good. I had a good camp before and I had a good camp now.
Is it difficult to get into his head? Because he speaks a bit of English, but it's difficult to...
I don't know about all this getting in people's heads. I've heard a lot like, oh, Tyson Fury gets in people's heads. I'm not Dr. X, you know. I don't have mind control. I don't get in anyone's head. If I can get in your head, I must be an alien.
Tyson,
I have no idea
about
getting in people's heads and stuff. I don't know. He can't speak. I know he understands English, but he can't really speak good English. And I don't really care about getting in his head. I want to just get my fist into his face. That's what I want.
He says he doesn't fear you, Tyson. Do you believe that? And does it annoy you how calm he is around you? Because when you look
calm,
because when you look at the likes of Wilder, he wasn't calm around you at all.
I'm not sure. I don't buy into all that. In my opinion, all that like mind games, he said, she said, it's a load of bullshit, really. It all comes down to on the night who's going to win the fight. That's it. Whatever I say before the fight or whatever he doesn't say before the fight, it has no effect, I believe, on a fight.
Well, Tyson has everything. He has boxing IQ, he has skills, he has speed, he has footwork, he has experience, he knows how to invent things in the ring, and he has size. Usyk has everything but the size. But Usyk has something from the past. Usyk has extraordinary amateur experience. So when I talk to him, I don't see any hesitation in his eyes. I mean, he's absolutely ready to go, and he knows the way to deal with Tyson. That's why I feel confident. That's why I feel relaxed about this fight. So the only thing I'm really concerned is to make this fight happen.
I don't think about Tyson Fury. I don't know, because for me it doesn't matter. I now do my work. It's my sparring partner, my sparring work.
my condition. I don't think about my opponent because for me, it doesn't matter. I will be think for my opponent when I go to ring 18 May. But it's, I don't know how time will be. Maybe
3 weeks, 3-4 weeks.
3-4 weeks. Yeah. When I go to step ring, I think, okay, Alex, like включить.
Switch on.
Switch on. Work.